Very good afternoon to all. We are here for yet another interesting Eco-Tech talk. And this time we have taken into consideration the matter of sustainability in Indian retail industry. The talk centers around SDG goals 8, 9, 12, and 13. Exneco stands for exploration, networking, and collaboration. And we strive to bring all sustainable enterprises on one platform. Today, we are blessed to have the retail guru with us, Mr. J. Prakash Shukla. He has been in the retail industry for around 2 decades. In 2007, he became the chief of Big Bazaar. Then he was the CEO of merchandise of Vishal Retail Limited. Then later on, he became the merchandise strategy officer in TPG Retail, and then he became the director of NISA Retail Private Limited. He presently holds the position of Chief Executive Officer for One India Family Mart. By now, you must have known that he is an ocean of knowledge, and when it comes to retail, we are truly honored to have his presence, and we welcome you, sir. Myself, Shrestha Bhattacharya, and Ravi Kumar are the host for the day.
Thank you, Shrestha. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you for providing this opportunity to have talks with you guys, and thank you. More than happy to answer any question later. Quick introduction about myself. I think Shrestha has spoken most of it. So I'm basically into value retail, starting my career from Calcutta, the erstwhile Vishal Mega Mart. And after being a graduate from Calcutta, I have been largely into the value retail ecosystem. So large part of my career has been with Vishal Mega Mart, followed by Adani Retail, followed by Salasar Retail. I was part of India Bulls Retail, that was primarily pyramid retail. I was part of Future Group for a period of time. Then I was part of TPG, which was Vishal Mega Mart back some years. And so that's largely about me. But currently, as Shrestha briefed, that I am fortunately one of the founder, director, and acting as in CEO for One India Family Mart. My company's name is basically NISA Retail Private Limited, but my brand is One India Family Mart. And pre-COVID, we used to run 100 stores. Today, we run close to 70, 75 stores. I must say, the reason and the stories along behind that, but I think that's not part of the discussion today. So that's one. And we are largely into affordable value retail segment, doing largely apparel and general merchandise. We don't do any food and grocery and anything of that sort, which at times has advantages and at times it becomes disadvantage for you.
Yeah.
So basically, it became disadvantage during the COVID, but I think
now
as you rightly
I think
said,
still it is advantage now if you slightly shift it to. But again, I know that your core business is retail and fashion industry. So thanks for that intro, sir. So with your vast experience, so on retail and fashion industry, what I'm seeing, so how you're seeing the shift from the tradition model to sustainability practices. So how you're seeing the shifts?
To be very, very honest, until and unless as businesses we don't learn to give back to the people and society, I think nothing is sustainable. So if you look at any businesses traditionally, we always say that Tatas are probably 200 years old, or the Birlas are probably 150 years old, or so-called some of the businesses in West, I will say, who are there in existence for last 200-300 years. If you look at their history, I think more than they have earned or taken from the society or environment, probably in some form they have given them back. So I think the traditional business has always been about profits. At what cost, it doesn't matter. It is just profits and profits and profits. And I think the shift in today's ecosystem or in today's businesses happening is, I think each of us has to think about people, about the environment and the planet, and then obviously profitability has to be there in order to give back
Right.
both these things. So I think the major shift is that initially when the traditional business only used to talk about ke, सिर्फ पैसा कैसे बनाना है. So I think that I think there's a huge shift from there where people have, I'm say businesses should, and they have indeed started thinking in that ways. But to be very honest, until unless the government of all the countries intervenes, it is very difficult for a business mindset to actually think of giving back to the society and planet, before earning or before making
Profit.
profits. So I think in order to make things sustainable, it is a joint responsibility of the business holder or the organization leaders, and as well as the government of each
Government.
of our countries. So I
Understood.
think
Very
yes.
rightly said. Very rightly said, sir. So, sir, what are the key sustainability challenges currently faced by the retailers, the retail sector as such?
See, I can tell you about largely our ecosystem of retailing. So I think the key challenges behind all kind of sustainabilities which we have been talking about is, until unless you make money, you will not be able to give back to the people and the
Understood.
environment, right?
Yeah.
And obviously for anything what you do in business, you pay the cogs. That's the cost of goods and services. That is something which you have to pay, I mean say. But what is it that you are giving beyond this? That's important, and that will add to the sustainability, because I think each of our businesses are actually trying to cut cost and give when it comes to cogs, so that somebody can just survive. Now, when it comes to sustainability, you'll have to give it out of the profits which you make. Like I mean, say we have the umbrella word called as CSR, but I think CSR is all forced. Like, but until unless it is embedded in the business people's mindset that if I'm earning 10 rupees, I have to actually give this 2-3 rupees back to the people in some form or the other, or to the environment in some form or the other. And then obviously, meanwhile, you're trying to do this, can we embed some of these things within our daily code, within our daily routine, within our daily production services, what we are trying to. Just to give you an example, like we as a retailer have moved out of those single-use polythenes. I mean, say, not that when the government banned it, but we did it much earlier voluntarily. So
Okay.
not those carry bags which I'm talking about, but if you see apparel,
Packaging.
each apparel is packed in an PP bag, I think, and technically there is no use. It is just for the shipping and transportation.
Exactly.
It reaches the shelf and you throw it out, right?
Exactly.
And then probably it goes to the environment, and I don't know, it decays after how many thousand million years, right? So as us as in business, we have been trying to move out. I will say we don't take anything with polythenes at this point of time. Anything means actually anything. And there was an I mean, so we can probably talk about this a little later. That what is it that us as a business is trying to do to create further more sustainability.
Yes, JP, I can understand, like from your shoes, like how difficult it is, because when retail, that too almost 70, 80 retail outlets are there. So the amount of packaging required for the safe movement of the material and the logistic involved in it. Okay. So it's something which is challenging. And if you straight away shift from sustainable towards sustainability, maybe it's a cost burden. So, I think there's a lot of technologies, like for example, if you come to the packaging, okay, so eco-friendly packaging materials available, as you told already, and also I think coming to artificial intelligence, okay, so there is a retail segment which is more advantageous. So as a One India Family Mart, so are you using any leveraging any technology as of now to reduce the impact, environment impact?
To be very honest, to be very honest, obviously we have all the ERPs and everything in place, but when it actually comes to machine learning or artificial intelligence, that is something which we have not considered at this hour.
Mm.
But even if I do, I will actually, I'm trying to think as you speak.
Mm.
Uh, I'm actually not able to figure out how will the artificial intelligence help me in reducing or improving my sustainability or reducing the carbon footprint in the environment ecosystem.
Yes.
But yes, when it comes to AI, we have been trying to do some sort of an working with Salesforce and couple of other agencies where we are trying to build a mechanism which will help us predict better on the quantums and styles and the garment selling in which store and which month and all that. But I'm just trying to figure out how will it impact sustainability. I mean, that
Yeah.
immediately I don't have an answer to
Yeah,
that.
because you have lots and lots of stocks, definitely. Okay, so what AI can enable you to understand the right material or right taste of a customer, so that you can only keep those stocks and the rest of the
Oh,
stock.
yes, yes, yes. So, Rakku, I got it wrong in that ways. Yes, that is something we already have an in-house platform which has been thrown or generated as an intelligence. I would say that what is selling, what colors are selling, what type of prints are selling, what materials are selling. Obviously, we all have that.
Mhm.
But that's the core of our business. Technically, when my EBITDAs are a little less than 6, 7, 8%, I hardly have any margin of error. So when we are trying to predict what will sell in what store, what months,
Mhm.
obviously that is already there. But we probably had all our past machines and algorithms and all that helping it out. But I'm just wondering how will it correlate to the sustainability?
Yeah, that's one of the application. Maybe there are a lot of application with AI, so we can discuss that as and when we move towards.
And sir, talking about the supply chain, what packaging innovations have you brought in or have you achieved in your supply chain to reduce the carbon footprint? Have you done anything in this direction?
Good question, Shrestha, but I think the problem with new age business today is to save cost and then probably obviously look at environment and carbon footprint and sustainability. Yes, but one good thing what we have done is initially we used to get products in larger packing and cartons, and then when it used to come to a distribution center, we used to redistribute or cross dock it by repacking it into another smaller cartons and poly bags and all that thing. So poly bags are completely banned this point of time
Mhm.
from last 5 years. So whatever repackaging used to happen probably 2, 3 years back, immediately after before COVID, used to happen only in cartons. But then we felt that there was huge amount of garbage or huge amount of cartons were getting dumped because of the repacking what we were doing. So I think it has added marginally to our cost, but then we have moved everything into so-called smaller packages, depending on the requirement each of these stores have. This is kind of repacked from the suppliers, and then
Mhm.
it is shipped to our stores and shipped to our distribution center, and from there it is immediately crossed down. So
Mhm.
I think there is huge impact. We're used to dump few lakh pieces of cartons. Obviously it was all paper, sustainable, and all that thing. But I
Mhm.
think this is one change which we have brought into
Yeah.
our ecosystem.
That's wonderful. Really, that's really wonderful.
And how do we measure that?
Mm.
So initially, I think there were a few lakhs getting collected by selling these carton rags and everything, which at this point of time is zero.
Oh,
Okay,
good, good.
that's
Yeah. So
that's
those kind of, yeah, I mean, eh, the retailer like you having more than 70 retail stores, it's not something like 100% sustainability can be achieved in a day. So these kind of changes, these kind of small innovations, acts are really required. Okay. So, JP,
Indeed,
so
indeed, indeed, Rakku, what we have done is, I will say when the plastic got banned, when it comes to the carry bag at the stores,
yeah.
obviously couple of them has moved to more sustainable solutions, paper and
Mhm.
those woven bags, but I think even I personally discourage woven bags. So initially there were days when we used to get bulk woven bags in our warehouse, in the central warehouse or the central distribution center, and we used to ship those woven bags to different stores. But as a call, we have taken that we will not ship those bags from our central warehouse anymore, and putting pressure on the retail front end ecosystem, saying that you only buy those non-woven bags from the local shops there, which has created an impact that my consumption has probably gone 30-40% down. That is not savings, because any which ways we were selling it. But the idea behind doing is that we really want to encourage people that please get your own bags or carry it in your hand and move it to the car. And indeed, what next thing what we have done is we have requested all our salespeople to carry those pieces in their hands till their vehicle to the parking. So I think that's another way where we are trying to encourage, saying that please don't use the even the non-woven carry bags also, because non-woven carry bags also has a I would say probably, if not equivalent to plastic, but I think what 30-40% lesser, 50% lesser than what plastic takes
Yeah.
to disintegrate,
But
biodegrade.
it does,
Yeah.
it does create pollution.
These small changes are really matters a lot. Like
So
JP,
Raghu, we have been selling, I don't know, probably 6-7 crore garments.
yeah,
So you can imagine the amount
exactly,
of that single use plastic which used to dump every year.
exactly.
So this leads to me to a very interesting question. That is, how do you engage the consumers to become more sustainable and adopt more sustainable choices?
So indeed, what we have done, Srishta, we keep coming up with this program where we encourage customers to get their old stuff back to our stores, which we in return clean it and then give it to NGOs like Goonj, which can be redistributed to but basically we do retailing in tier 2, 3, 4, where I think there's any which ways and very high usage of a garment from one person to the other. It's more like those urban or west where a season goes out and people generally throw away. So Rakhu Shrestha, I think as a country we have been lucky till now that we are marginally developed, and we are in a situation where 80-90 crore people in the country does not consume even one pair of new garment. you know so I think the problem is going to be very high moment we become more developed, or we become economically stronger, or our probably GDP becomes 2-3 times of what we are today. I think that is when the time will come which will create a problem that we will have to figure out what is to be done with those dumped garments in the environment. But I think we are safe next 20-30 years from this problem, but which does not means that I don't want India to
Yeah.
grow or probably
Way over
consume
there,
more.
yeah. True.
Okay.
In fact, one can think of circularity as well.
Right. So
JP,
indeed, once or twice a year, we do encourage with this promotion, which we come up, that you get all sort of your old garments, kilo ke bhav, we buy it, we give them a redeemable coupon. I would say, obviously, this was all started by Mr. Biani in early, 2005-10. So, but I think
Yes.
this is one way of engaging with the customer, and we do tell to our customers saying that this is not that we sell. We actually get this from you, and then we refurbish it, dry clean them or clean them, and then probably give it to somebody who is probably more,
Maybe.
underdeserved.
Yes.
so JP, I have two important question in my mind. So one is how a retailer can embrace sustainability, again not compromising the profitability. I think the small changes what you're doing, yes, of course it's improving the carbon footprint, it's reducing the carbon footprint, but at the same time, are you seeing any shift in your profitability, plus or minus? So how that you look, and if it's a good, at least in the long term, So don't you think like if the situation like COVID-19, okay, we don't know what can happen. So can able to give a good stability going forward in such situations if the profitability can be work out with sustainability. What do you take on?
So I think hope I'm getting the question right. So I think each of us, I would say there's uh, no first or second. You have to come up with an option where you are sustainable in the long run. Otherwise, you will
Yeah.
obviously go out of business. The nature will put you out of your business. That's very, very clear. Like,
Mm,
so that's one. And second is, uh, when it comes to situations like COVID, I think if it look at history, that's probably happened, once in a century, if I'm not wrong.
yeah.
So I think we can leave that to, I
Nature.
mean, so nobody can be prepared for an events like that.
Yeah.
And preparing for an event like that would be a very, very heavy cost, and you
Mm,
don't know when it's going to happen.
yeah.
So I think there are certain things we should leave,
Mm,
and in due course, as we rightly say, that you should do your karmas along with dharmas.
mm,
So, and actually, when you're trying to do business, you should always keep that sustainability angle in your mind. Like, you can't be massacring the environment for profitability, because
mm, mm,
ultimately, then it's more like, that you earn money by destroying your health,
mm,
or you earn wealth by destroying your health, and tomorrow then you deploy that wealth to
mm,
gain health,
mm,
and
mm,
actually you don't, because
mm,
by that time
mm,
the
mm,
time is gone. So it is very important that all of us put together has to take sustainability into account,
mm,
side by side, parallel. Whenever you're trying to do something, earn money out of it, parallel you should start thinking that how can I make it more sustainable. Like, we are one of the value retailers in the country, but what we try and do to the ecosystem is that we try and sell as much as cotton possible. Like, because we all know, cotton is more, reusable, it is more sustainable, it is environment friendly, all that thing.
Yes, yes,
so
definitely. So you can work on your sourcing from that angle, that you source more sustainable materials. So now, when we talk of sustainable development goals, do you have any regulatory or compliance in place for these measures, SDG measures right now?
So, obviously, we are one of the private equity funded companies. I mean, say we have three large private equity fundings
mhm,
in our company. And I think there are a lot of compliances which the fund has to comply in the invested companies. So I think that flows into our ecosystem by default also. Other than whatever our immediate state government or central government imposes, and obviously, at certain point of time, it might looks a little cumbersome. But end of the day, I think I was the first retailer in the country to embrace that we will go without plastic, right?
mhm,
Indeed, Braku, you will be shocked that we are actually allowed to use that one-time plastic which we do
mhm,
for our garments, right?
mhm,
But I think I have taken this call long back, even for the environmentalist or the government suggested. We have initially ourselves taken a call that we don't want that.
mhm.
Good. That was a good initiative.
Yeah.
Yes.
JP, what are the upcoming trends and innovations that could shape the future of sustainability in retail sectors? What do you feel like? What can coming, or you
See,
already?
I think the biggest change which I dream of should come, and it is coming to a certain extent, that all mobility should move to, environmental friendly this thing.
Mm,
Because I think
logistics.
today when it comes to what I feel is that the biggest contributor in my ecosystem of retailing
Mm,
is these
it's logistic.
logistic fossil fuel burning, right?
Mm, mm, mm,
So I have always been dreaming, like, I don't know, I'm not the subject matter expert whether
mm,
the electric the battery is a right solution, because I think battery has its own set of problems.
yeah.
When you're trying to dispose it of after 5-10 years. So maybe we'll enjoy these 10 years as green and all that, but then it creates a different problem way forward. But I think solar is one good green option, and I think somebody should take this initiative, converting all large part of our trucking ecosystem. Maybe it can go a little slower. We don't mind. We don't know. We don't need that
Yeah,
jet
exactly.
rocket speed. माल डालो और 1 घंटे में यूपी बिहार झारखंड पहुंच जाए. You really don't want that, right?
Mm.
So I think if somebody can work on that, I think that is a
Yeah,
real.
it's been the place already. It's like trucks and all. It's now shifting to either EV or mainly hydrogen. The only problem is hydrogen availability is something which is challenging. But truck sector, which is the main source for CO2 emission, so that shift is definitely happening. And like you said, mm, it has its own challenges, like how green it is. But at least on the mobility, I mean, when it's moving on the road, it is green. Okay, so that is uh, sector where definitely it can go green. At the same time, utilization of solar powers to run the factories, to run the
So,
uh,
Raghu, the other thing what we are doing, I mean, say it is too early for me to, comment or implement that. But
Mhm.
actually, we are thinking of converting all our showrooms
Mm.
into solar. I mean, so depending on whether we have the roof rights and do we have the area on the terrace with us. But I think this is something which we have made as a compulsion now. Ki even if we are using the ground and first floor of a
Mhm.
property, because we take large properties, we are roughly 7, 8, 10,000 square feet. So even if I'm there in 2 floors, it is good 5,000 square feet each floors. And there could be a situation where we have multiple floors, but I have taken only 2 floors. But now we have starting embedding in our agreement saying that the roof right remains with us, so that
Mm.
tomorrow we can get
Bring
into
back
that
solar.
solar thing.
Yeah.
And any which ways, not that immediately we are trying to work only with factories who are green or solar and all that thing. But I think that's another the thought came into mind as we speak, that probably we can start insisting them, saying that you have to have certain capacities as solar, if you're
Mhm.
trying to work with us.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what message do you have for budding entrepreneurs? How they should build their business in today's scenario, embracing sustainability at the same time?
So I think first I'll answer the larger question, and sustainability can be two. uh, the first is identify a problem and then try and find a solution. See, in largely in the entrepreneurial ecosystem is that we always try and run after success. If somebody has succeeded doing a particular model or a particular business, you will find that people run after to do the same business, and unnecessary cluttering the space by funded money, and then
Yeah.
destroying the ecosystem of
Disruption.
profitability.
Yeah.
Disruption, exactly. So I
Yeah.
think it is very important there are lakhs and lakhs and tons problem to be
Problem.
solved. you know so I think budding entrepreneurs are given the opportunity which is far more larger than what we had at our times. Like, so
Mm.
at our times probably we were only left to do the traditional businesses, like traditional ideas. But I think today the world, the ecosystem, the communication, everything has opened up, which has opened up plethora of option when it comes to trying
Mhm.
new ideas and new businesses, right?
Yeah.
So that is one. And second message is that, as I rightly told you, even if you're trying to do a new age business or a traditional business or a medieval era business,
Mm.
sustainability is something which should walk along with any thought what you are trying to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will not succeed in the longer run. That's very, very clear.
Rightly said. Rightly said,
Yeah.
JP. So probably you run business mainly. I'm seeing in tier one, tier two.
No, tier 2, 3, 4.
Tier two, sorry, tier two, tier three
Tier 2,
cities.
3, 4. Yeah.
So any particular reason for that? And I'm not seeing much
So,
online presence of yours. So or any strategy?
yeah.
Yeah.
So to be very honest, I must say obviously sustainability was not the reason why I went to
Mhm.
2, 3, 4. Profitability was the prime reason.
Okay.
But I think NISA One India as a business, and especially me, I really wanted to make BCD India fashionable. So.
Mhm.
So idea is ki, I actually myself traveled in these cities, and I felt there was a need,
Mhm.
for fashionable garment in this particular vicinity. If you remember, going back 10, 15, 20 years back, or our childhood or teenage, where we used to say Bombay is fashionable, फिर fashion Delhi आता है, and then Calcutta and Patna पहुंचते it is like 2, 3 years apart. But I think now with the Facebook and Instas of the world, I think the world has become at par.
Yeah.
So it is someone has to take that uh, accountability, or someone has to take saying that this is something which I will do, whatever is being worn by my distant cousin in the urban. I take that responsibility of delivering it into the rural, almost 10, 15 days or a month apart, and obviously at a price which is actually sustainable for them.
Yeah, actually, when you're explaining, I was thinking this is may not be we can consider indirectly as sustainable. It's contributing to sustainable because, for example, nowadays everyone own their own vehicle. Okay, so instead of if they're going to a larger city to buy do such shoppings,
Exactly.
okay, if
You bring that
you're
fashion in
in
their
their
city,
city,
in their
so maybe 1%, 2%, but you're avoiding people to travel. Okay, from one place A to B, where it is 10 kilometers, you are reducing to 2 kilometers. Again, you're indirectly contributing to sustainability. Okay,
And
so
but
retail
but
is very
but
much,
Raku, I'm making them buy more, na. So I don't
yes,
know.
and retail
Indirectly,
is
maybe
kind
I'm
of,
contributing to non-sustainability. Sorry, sister.
and retail is kind of recreation as well. So they will get a place to I mean, it will be
So
recreational kind of an
indeed,
activity
yeah,
when they'll go to shop.
Indeed, Shweta, you'll be shocked that in the tier 3, 4 towns where I am probably the only air-conditioned mall. What that is what they call. That we are the only place for recreation there. So you will find
Yes,
there are a lot of hawkers. They come outside our store in the evening, and I think that is one place of recreation for the entire family.
yes,
And
very
Raku,
true.
trying to answer the other question, that whether we want to go e-com or omni, uh, I think we have been trying it couple of times, but I think at the margin and at the average ASP, what we operate, it is not sustainable at this point of time. And but I think yes, we are trying to explore that how can we get into this
I
online
think it's
ecosystem.
possible for UK, sir, because your stores are at tier one, sorry,
Raku,
two and three.
we will have to probably adopt a hyper local kind of a model,
Mm-hmm.
so I think getting it delivered from the warehouse to last mile will probably something not work. So we are on the verge of probably trying to deploy or build an ecosystem where it is more hyper local, so within the vicinity, if somebody offers orders, it can quickly be picked from one of these stores and delivered to them. But I think we are working on that. It might take some more time.
Thank you, JP, for all your input. So, considering time, we are ending this tech talk, but definitely we are going to discuss you more. Like to have more tech talk with you to give your vast experience and insights to viewers, as we'll together try to understand sustainability more. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Raku.
so
Thank you,
much.
Sister. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, JP. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.